as you said, what we have here at NorthIsle Copper and Gold is what we believe the biggest and the highest return copper and gold project in Canada, if not the world. And we're based right here in British Columbia, which has become even more and more strategically important for our governments, given that we're right on tidewater and we can very easily access the Asian markets with our copper and gold product. I will be making forward-looking statements. Tony, I just want to make sure that you could see the presentation.
Yeah, I'm very clear.
Right. Excellent. So how do we come to the determination that, again, in our opinion, this is the largest, highest return copper and gold project that currently isn't owned by a major? Well, it's because we've just released the PEA that is yielded approximately $2 billion of after-tax net present value, approximately 29% internal rate of return, approximately 1.7 times net present value to CapEx. So this is a metric that shows capital intensity, which shows that it's probably one of the lowest capital intensities of any project that I know. It yields approximately, if it's an equal gold and copper, but if you think of it as a gold project, it's approximately 300,000 ounces of gold a year for 29 years. If you think of it as a copper project, it's about 157 million pounds of copper a year for 29 years, which is a very long mine life. This is approximately 2 to 3 cycles of production, which we all know is extremely important when you have to go through the ebbs and flows of the cycle, which Michael Gentili just talked about. And lastly, this project has a payback of initial capital of approximately 1.9 years. So in all respects, it's an excellent, excellent project PEA. But the real kicker here is because it's such a heavily focused gold project, especially in our first phase, at today's spot prices, or at least spot prices about 2 weeks ago, so lower than today's spot price, the project yields approximately a $4.8 billion net present value. To put that in context, we are currently trading at a $200 million market capitalization. At spot prices 2 weeks ago, this project would yield approximately a $4.5 billion net present value. Excuse me. So it is extremely leveraged to gold, which is exactly why we think this is a very unique opportunity for investors, because you are levered to a commodity that is at its all-time highs today in gold. Everyone believes and understands why gold is performing well. Michael just very eloquently explained that you always fundamentally should be investing in companies that are part of commodities that are rising today. Well, that's gold. Copper, on the other hand, is arguably the most strategic of the critical metals out there, for which all of the governments across the world are scrambling to get their hands off of. So we have that copper exposure and this incredible ability to bridge that medium to long-term exposure today through gold. That's why we believe that our proposition is unlocking copper through gold. So this just provides a little bit of context behind our comparison. So my background, I was an investment banker for over 20 years. I led multiple functions at CIBC, Canadian Imperial Banks of Commerce, in their investment banking group. And this is really some of the information we would look at when we advise some of the largest companies such as Barrick and the BHPs of the world. We would look at a project that has high returns, IRR, and what we're showing here is 3 categories. Of the first category are our numbers, which is in gold. The second category is projects that have bigger than $2 billion NPV, so big projects like ours, which is in gray, and smaller projects, so projects that have smaller than $2 billion net present values, which is in blue. And it doesn't matter what size you look at, across the board around returns, payback, mine life, and capital intensity, our project is second to none relative to the global projects that are out there that have a potential of being developed over the next 10 years. So we believe that this chart shows that we have a project that is comparable, if not better than any other project in the world today that isn't currently owned by a major. And so how did we do that? Well, we did that through excellent exploration. Our goal, and we've achieved this goal over the last 4 or 5 years, is every exploration dollar that we spent, through every program that we spend, we should see at least a 3 times multiple bump, or a 3 times return on that amount of money that we spend. And we have done that consistently for 3 years. We've effectively progressed 3 programs, soon to be 4 programs, in and around $7 million. And we have seen that $20 to $30 million return into our share price based on the success of our exploration program. So we will continue to do that. We're fully funded this year for our 4th, hopefully very successful, potentially transformational program that we are starting in the next 2-3 weeks. So our share price has significantly outperformed all of our peers because of this very strong execution track record. This only shows a graph of the last 12 months, but I ask everyone that's listening today to look at the overall 5 years since the new management has joined. We are by far one of the best, if not the best performing stocks in the junior market, and it's because of this very consistent execution. It's also because of our very strong and supportive shareholders, including Michael Gentili. It is because our insiders, a management team, and the board own approximately 19% of the company. So we are shareholders alongside you. And that is very important. When you look at companies, you have to see companies that actually are aligned with you, the shareholders. And we have approximately 19%. We have a very clean balance sheet. Every year we've been able to raise equity without issuing dilutive warrants. We have no warrants outstanding. We have no debt outstanding. We have approximately $13 million as per the last quarter. That's aimed at funding this new, very encouraging exploration program. And then finally, the institutional group will follow when they see this level of success. We have 3 analysts that cover us currently, but we just added a 4th, David Davidson at Paradigm, who has been a very long veteran of the street, has just initiated on us this week with a $1.45 target. So all signs are a go for this project, and we're moving into a different territory. We're a $200 million market cap company now, and ready to really move forward from where we're at today. And this can be done without the leadership that we have established over the course of the last few years. Dale Corman is our chairman. He's a mining Hall of Famer. And for those who don't know what that is, it is probably one of the most significant organizations in the world to identify extremely successful people in the mining industry. And they give out only a few of these a year. Dale was inducted in 2022. My background is I knew Dale through my many decades of investment banking experience. I've worked on over $100 billion of mergers and acquisitions and equity funding financings at Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. And Dale was a very close partner of mine during those years. And then we've really built out the group, as you could see here, with over 200 years of mining, exploration, development, financing experience that really, I believe, is second to none if you were to compare us to any other junior company out there. So to give you an idea of where we are here, so this is British Columbia. This is where all the critical metal projects are located. We are in an area that is a historical mining district. In fact, this road from Campbell River was built for a mine that BHP owned called the Island Copper Mine, just to the bottom right there, which ran for about 24 years. So hundreds of millions of dollars was spent on all these roads, the power, the infrastructure, the port, the town, for a project of the size of our PEA, which is essentially shown in this picture here, including Hushamu, Red Dog, and Northwest Expo. This is our mine plan as it relates to the document that will come out over the next couple of days that supports the PEA. And it's effectively defined by over 60 to 70 years of drilling activity, of geophysical surveys, of resource definitions. As you can see here, this is the red indicates very high grade resources within the pit shell. These are all open pits, so it's very simple mining. But all this data has essentially culminated into a region that is fertile for exploration. So what does that mean for our exploration program that we're going to initiate in the next couple of days and weeks? Well, firstly, we just hired a new vice president of exploration, Pablo Maheo, who's a PhD geoscientist, worked as a VP exploration at Arrow Copper. His focus is data-driven exploration led by artificial intelligence, machine-based learning. And so this is a very, very new thing in the industry, but it's been now funded by multiple individuals, including Bezos, including Warren Buffett, around trying to find targets across the world using data-driven technologies. And that is exactly what we have. We have a ton of data, and now we have an individual that could really spearhead this initiative through all of the data that we have over 60 to 70 years, starting with the data that the Geological Survey provided back in the 50s that led to the BHP Island Copper Mine being discovered. And so we are just going to continue that area of focus through our very, very robust exploration opportunities, including Northwest Expo here, where you can see in the red, that's defined by very high grade gold going right to surface. We're looking to find the causative intrusion of that high grade gold at Northwest Expo. This is just a map of where we're focused on. This is a geophysical survey of the mag anomalies, which you can see the redder, the more resilient colors you get, the higher magnetic opportunities. So that's where we're focusing on this year. The second area of focus is West Goodspeed, which currently isn't in our preliminary economic assessment because we just made this discovery last year. And so we've already drilled 16 holes. We're going to spend another $3 million in infill drilling in this area, which we're seeing already similar grades to what we're seeing in Red Dog and Northwest Expo. And then finally, we're going to focus on the step outs to expand West Goodspeed beyond the 1 kilometer strike. Separately, you can look at this as a district play. This is a 35-kilometer district that started at the Island Copper Mine that was mined out for 24 years by BHP. And when you think about district plays, you have to think about generational opportunities. And what we've done through the PEA is we've just identified the first 30 years of production at Hushamu, Red Dog, and Northwest Expo. Pemberton Hills really is the swing for the fences, the high risk tolerance, high reward opportunity that we've already spent about $5 million triangulating, targeting, and now we're prepared to make a discovery in this very, very, very large footprint that is approximately only 7 kilometers away from our 30-year project that we've just defined, and it's about approximately equal distance to the Island Copper Mine, the BHP Island Copper Mine. So we are looking to faithfully advance that project this year as well. I think everyone understands the political environment we're in. Well, I've been in this industry now for over 30 years. Never have I seen such political alignment with the federal, provincial, municipal, First Nations, opposition, incumbents around the support of economic independence and how to derive that economic independence through natural resource extraction, starting with mining. So that's number one. So number two is that we need to explore as a country how to identify global partners that can give us that economic independence as well. Well, we are just literally on the coast, as you saw on the map, on Tidewater. We're the closest. We're right next to potentially the closest port from continental America to Europe to Asia, which is most likely where this product would be going. So politically, this is a very important project for not only us as North Isle, but for the province of British Columbia and for the Canadian government as a whole. And this is just a bit of evidence in terms of actions and evidence as it relates to the political will. We get our permits in record time versus anybody else in British Columbia. It usually takes about 12 to 24 months to get these types of exploration permits. We get ours in about 14 weeks. We have been awarded the King Charles III Coronation Medal for our work with respect to critical metals, reconciliation, and general social license around these types of projects as we go into the permitting and developing phase. So this is going to obviously, hopefully take advantage of this expedited permitting environment that we're currently seeing in British Columbia taking place today. So finally, what to expect in our 2025? Well, this is going to be a transformational year. It already started with the issuance of this excellent preliminary economic study. We start our drilling program in the next couple of weeks, which we will start to facilitate, and we will start to report those results around Q2. We are going to be looking for strong partners that can help us develop and get to final investment decision as quickly as possible. And then we're looking to build our presence, our support, our board, our management team to ensure that we continue to achieve the success in execution that we have over the last 5 years that has made us one of the top, if not the top performing stocks during those 5 years. So that maybe I can pause and take questions if there are any.
Great presentations. Thank you, Sam. All right, so let's dive into the Q&A. So first question is from Alan. He was wondering, what challenges do you face in 2025 for the company?
Well, let me start with the tailwinds right now. So the tailwinds, as I said, are the political environment. I've never seen a political environment this strong before. Our economic study has provided the confidence not only within our group, but also within the market that this is something that should be developable. So the challenges really are, I think, very manageable. And of course, the challenges, the biggest question and challenge that may have been addressed through your other keynote speaker is that when you get into a development stage project, it becomes quiet, and it's extremely important work that you do, but from a news flow perspective, from an energy perspective, from a marketing perspective, from a growth perspective, it becomes stale. So what we are doing explicitly to address that is we're running that parallel process of, call it $7 to $10 million exploration program. And it's a very focused program around the area that we already know, now we've established, has about 65 to 70% EBITDA margins, right? So if we can expand that area from phase one from 6, 7 years to 12, 13 years, that has tremendous value. And we can do that in parallel with developing a project such that we don't face the biggest challenges that every development company faces. So in short, the answer is to maintain, if not grow, our exploration program led by Pablo Mejio, our PhD geo that has AI specialty in parallel with developing faithfully and quickly our project.
Very interesting. All right, last question is that your share price have done well recently. So
Yes.
any reasons why?
Yeah, it's exactly for the reasons I talked about. Like, I mean,
see.
this project is second to none. And again, like my background does suggest that I've seen many of these projects, and I've been to probably over 40 countries seeing these types of projects as an investment banker. And so the project itself is second to none. The people are absolutely second to none. The political environment is second to none. It is no, has never been stronger. Our positioning in terms of our actual location with infrastructure, right on Tidewater, with strong First Nations and community support. That is second to none. So those are all of the elements that your previous speaker, Michael, and our shareholder, Michael Gentili, identifies as being a perfect storm. And that is finally the situation we're in. And I got to tell you, this is where we excel as a management team, right? As I said, our board and management has 200 years of doing these sorts of things, of developing these sorts of projects, of being very successful in making billions of dollars for their shareholders. And this is really, we're starting to get into that sweet spot now where we are a $200 million market cap company. We do have that momentum. This is just the beginning. This is the launching pad for really our team to execute on our strengths.